Can I get a motion, gentlemen, to approve the agenda for today?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I will second.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Team and I.
Bulls, aye.
The minutes.
2 sets.
Yep. I got one clarification we need to correct. For the appointment to the landfill,
Yep.
you go across there, you got Nancy Gibson. That should be Nancy Jensen.
Jensen, sorry.
You're fine.
I'll fix that.
That's the only thing I seen.
I would make a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
I'm second.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Team and I.
Bulls, aye.
I wonder if there's even a Nancy Gibson.
Don't know that.
Okay, we got the EMS damages for the month.
The only big one was North Benton, and that's because they got a new ambulance, right?
And that was a partial payment, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed to split that out of 2 years.
With no interest.
No interest, right?
Yep.
I'd make a motion to accept the EMS expense approval.
And we normally list those out, so.
Correct.
Want me to read them off?
Yep.
Okay, Garrison Fire Department, or Garrison First Response, $135.85. North Benton Ambulance, $105,117.50. Blairstown EMS, looks like a battery charger, $1,305. Walford First Response Equipment, $1,860. Garrison First Responders, $9. Garrison First Responders Medical Supplies, $41.12. Belle Plaine Ambulance, $1,946.32. Van Horn First Response Medical, $853.37. Cedar Mount Auburn First Response, $432.25. Van Horn First Response, $1,501.35. Walford First Response, $149.99. Garrison First Responders, $50. Walford First Response Equipment, $1,361.09. Atkins First Responders Software, $4,141.81 for a total of $118,907.65. Salute.
You want to second that?
I will second that.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Team and I.
Bulls, aye.
Carrie Chase. She's with the Benton County Volunteers.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is Angelica.
Okay.
She is my passenger and also one of our United Way employees.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We received your other request form a couple weeks ago, so it should be in your binders.
So, as you guys may or may not recall, a few years ago, United Way of East Central Iowa absorbed the Benton County Volunteer Program, which is now the Benton County Volunteer Center. So I get to be honored to come and talk to you guys about the impact that this funding has really made, and kind of really wanted to talk about where we were last year and kind of our hopes and dreams for this next year. This year, one thing, last year when I came was my first year coming here, and I was like very disappointed in myself because I had nothing to show for the impact that Benton County Board of Supervisors dollars had. And it really made me think about, man, we have so many people that support United Way in our programs, and we've done a bad job. So one of the things that you will see is you guys actually inspired us to create an impact report. which does talk about all of the different things that United Way does, and does specifically talk about under access to healthcare, the medical transportation program. It talks about our program area that we have with our group volunteer projects. So you guys can read through it and fall asleep to it tonight. I won't make you go through it, but I just wanted to share that was a moment for me, aha moment for me, that it was, we just needed to be able to do that. The other document that you will see is our ALICE report, and I've never shared this before with this group. We haven't, but I just thought it would be something that you may like to see as an additional data point. So ALICE is ALICE Limited Income Constrained Employed, and so this is a report that United Way of Iowa is able to contract and have made for us. We generally focus on families and individuals that are federal poverty line and below, but we see a growing number of families and individuals that are above that federal poverty line and are unable to make ends meet. And so this ALICE report actually looks at what is that gap, what are those between that federal poverty line, and looking at a budget and seeing where they're able to meet their basic needs. And again, I will not go into this. You can read it tonight and you can peruse through it. I'm always open for discussion on it and talk through, but there's two things I wanted to point out on this. If we look at the ALICE threshold, so that is unable to meet their basic needs all the way down to that below that federal poverty level, we're looking at about 34% for Benton County. So this is a specific Benton County report and pulls that data for you. The other thing that I really wanted to draw your attention to is it talks about the age of the households. And because the Benton County Volunteer Center really works with our aging individuals in Benton County, if you're to look at that 65 years and over, you can see that 48% of individuals, households, are below that ALICE threshold. So almost half of our aging population in Benton County is unable to meet the basic needs. And that to me is just the call to action for what we do and the Benton County Volunteer Center does. So I'll pause there for a minute. Just a couple things I wanted to point out, and another resource for you all to use. Any questions on this? Before I do my bragging a little bit. So I know you all received our application, but there's a couple of things that I wanted to point out. First of all, I need to give Cindy Stamp, who is our transportation coordinator. She worked for years at HACAP. Her husband actually drives for the Benton County Transportation, and she has been amazing. She is our coordinator. She coordinates everything and has just done a phenomenal job, and honestly, we wouldn't be able to have the outcomes we had if we didn't have her. So we're looking at, for the transportation program alone, which is the big part of really what the Benton County Volunteer Center does, 24,000 miles that our volunteers were able to provide for medical transportation to 63 residents throughout the year. We had, which is really impactful, we have a steadily growing number of volunteers as well. It kind of fluctuates between usually 15 to 20 to 25, kind of depending on, who decides to go south for the winter and like all those kinds of things. But she's done a great job in recruiting new volunteers as well as clients. We had two goals last year that I would say we were really successful in meeting. One was, we're trying to get away from the small imprint or footprint of only Belle Plaine. How do we serve all of Benton County? And one of the stats that I had there is that we went from a 57%, serving 50% of Benton County to 80%. And that is, Cindy went to all of the towns and did a lot of advocacy and brought brochures and did all the things. So we're really excited that we almost out of We have 80% of either clients or volunteer participation out of 80% of towns in Benton County. The second, we piloted an errand program. We saw that a lot of our transportation volunteers were kind of going out of their way and doing, stopping at the bank or stopping at the post office. We know or maybe the grocery store. We know our aging population sometimes has problems being able to do those things. So we did receive a grant to be able to fund those extra miles. The mileage that we get has to be really specific reimbursement for transportation. We were able to successfully pilot it. We really need to get the volunteers to write down their miles so they can be reimbursed for it, because they just want to be that, super nice and be like, oh, it's just, it's not a problem at all. But it's there, and it has at least freed up, I think, our clients also to have some flexibility if they needed to run an errand while they're doing the medical transportation. We're able to get that. The other, so those were our two goals. We met those. We successfully grew the program. We were able to meet that need that our clients needed. This year, we want to just continue that transportation. We want to continue. We have a small group of seniors that meets in Belle Plaine that does community projects. They're trying new things and stepping outside of their box, which they're not loving at the moment, but then they start to love it, and it's okay. But they're doing some great things. We also really want to look at and have started conversations with organizations like HACAP, because we know that there are intersections like food access that we could possibly help with as all. If we are going out and picking up somebody from medical transportation, can we just bring them a food box if they need it, things like that. So we're just looking at organically what are some of those points that we have to be able to partner. The other big thing that we would love to be able to get running, and we're like this close to maybe doing it yet this season, is we do the volunteer income tax assistance program at United Way. We did have so it sounds like here in Benton there was a program funded by AARP. They are no longer involved with that group of volunteers. They reached out to us, and we are more than willing to take on those volunteers in their program. I think from what I've heard, there's like 3 volunteers that did like 400 or 500 returns, and so I think they're also just tired. So we are trying to get at least, we call them a pop-up site, so at least 1 or 2 days here where we can still have tax preparation done by some volunteers, and then bring in some extra volunteers in Lynn and Jones County to be able to help if needed. So that's really one of our big goals, is how do we grow that program here now that we have a good volunteer base too. You got to have those volunteers that want to be able to do it. So just wanted to say thank you. We appreciate the continued support and funding that comes along it from the Benton County Supervisors, and just look forward to continuing to partner.
Okay, and I have 2 questions.
Sure.
One, the grant
Yes.
coming up for this fiscal year. You'll have to apply again for the mileage.
Yep.
And that probably looks pretty good. That will
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, we have, so it's a 3-year grant, and so we're up for the
Okay.
3-year. We historically have gotten it every year. We've always done really well on any kind of our, they do different audits. They actually just did a big audit. We get great feedback from our clients and from our volunteers. We have a annual training program that we did this last year. We were able to bring in EMTs to be able to talk, to be able to prepare our volunteers a little bit more, because what if something were to happen, just some basic things. So I do not foresee, I know it's a huge need in the community, and I cannot foresee that we would not get the funding for that to continue.
And then I know years past, we participated in that tax deal that we opened this building up in an office
Oh, yeah, we did.
in years past. But I mean, we haven't done it now.
A couple years at least.
Yeah, because I think the last time they did it over at the library. in
And
Benton
I don't
area.
know if that's where they continued. Maybe
Yeah.
it worked out better, easier access, different
Yeah.
hours.
Okay.
Yeah, they are doing it at the library.
They are,
But I
yeah.
do think that, we haven't seen the location. There may be some accessibility, like, sometimes you just need some private space. And I'm not sure if that was a concern or not. So we kind of got the call last minute, so we're trying to scramble to try to get something to work, to be honest.
You looking for a place to host it then, or?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe this year. I think the library should be okay, but I think if we want to grow it, we'll have to find a bigger space.
Good.
And we need more volunteers.
I'll do that.
Accountants, right?
You don't even have to be. We need greeters too, and you don't have to have any tax preparation knowledge at all, so.
Okay.
We've got an attorney that likes tax law.
Well, there we go.
Oh, hey, Derek.
So
So
question.
sign you up, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
When they're transporting the individuals and do they set in advance that I would like to do this, and I'd like to stop at the post office or the grocery store, or do they just say, hey, I need to stop at the grocery store?
We try to have them.
Try to get it to set up?
Yes, so when Cindy is scheduling, she will ask, did you have any errands that you
Okay.
needed to run?
I've wondered that because
So we can
otherwise
plan.
somebody might
Yes.
be late for an appointment on the next round.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly, yes.
Very good. All right,
Yep.
thanks.
Okay.
Great.
Well, thank you very much.
Perfect, thank you all.
Thanks for coming.
I appreciate it.
Same my question like towards space for the tax thing. That was covered.
That
Thank
was
you.
it, okay. Well, we would be open to any suggestions you guys might have too, so.
We might have a space here.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be in
Thanks.
touch.
Drive safe to Des
Thank
Moines.
you. Stay warm.
You too.
Thanks, guys.
Did you guys think it felt warmer when you come in here today?
I did.
That's okay.
I
Then I
got,
wore an extra layer.
I got a fancy app on my phone and I can turn it up before I get here.
Well, good deal.
I think I want one of those.
I'll be handy.
But it'll reset at night in case I forget to turn it on.
I want to start by saying that I've been cleaning and sanitizing my hands to be safe.
I drive a school bus, kiddo. I don't, I'm exposed to all kinds of stuff.
Thank you. Oh, you need- oh.
Okay, so this is a land use hearing for Ethan Henry. Ethan Henry is seeking approval to change the use of approximately 1 acre of land to allow for an additional single-family dwelling. The property is located approximately 2 miles southeast of Mount Auburn at 2170 55th Street, within the northwest border of the northeast border of Section 36, Township 86 North, Range 11 West in Cedar Township. The proposal concerns a 9.27 acre parcel which the applicant's parents, Stephen and Stacy Henry, are purchasing on contract from Stephen and Carol Henry. The entire area of this request has a CSR below 70, so it is not considered high-quality farmland. The area of this request has a weighted average core suitability rating of 61. Further, the parcel has not been used for agricultural production since 2003, and approximately 7 acres are within the 100-year flood zone. There's timberland and ag row crops to the north and west, and ag row crops to the east and timberland to the south. Access to the property will continue via the existing driveway, which was reviewed and approved by Dan McKenna from Secondary Roads. The property is accessed from 55th Street, a gravel county road with an average annual daily traffic count of 50 vehicles. The dwelling will require a new septic and private water well, which will be permitted by the department. 3 notification letters were sent to adjacent property owners, and legal notices were published in Benton County's official newspapers. The Benton County Land Use Office received no public comments on the request, but did receive a request for additional information from a neighboring property owner. After he received more information, he didn't have any complaints to place. This request is located on a parcel that is not associated with a farm and is adjacent to an existing dwelling and welding shop. Therefore, this request is not likely to interfere seriously with farm operations in the area. The surrounded area generally consists of ag uses with some scattered rural residences and industrial uses, including the existing residence and welding shop on this parcel. This request should not materially alter the stability of the overall land use pattern in the area. According to the Benton County Land Preservation and Use Plan, it is policy to provide limited and low-density single-family dwellings within the general rural use area upon a fair and equitable evaluation. For the reasons reported, this request has been found to be consistent with this policy and all other applicable policies of the plan. Matt and I reviewed the report and worked on everything together, so everything looked in order.
I've looked through everything, and you're satisfied with everything. I would make a motion to approve this land use.
So the floodplain, that's all to the south of the proposed?
It's southwest, where the dwelling and the shop is gonna be. They're not anywhere near the 100-year-old or even 500-year flood
And that's
zone.
that's the red is the 100 year?
No, the blue is 100, the
Okay.
red is anything over 100, so that could be
Ah, so
up to like 500 or more.
they're quite a ways away from it. I don't see any issues. Is there a building there now where the garage is going to go?
Yes, so they're gonna remove that.
Remove that? Is this just like an old corn crib or something?
That I'm not sure what it is right now.
Oh, it doesn't really matter.
The neighbor that came in asking for more information, he wanted to see how close to his property that building was gonna be, and when we showed him the garage was gonna be where that building currently sits, he didn't have issues with that.
It's not going to change where it's at. Okay.
He did the first one. He made a motion,
Oh, he made a motion to
Yes, he
accept?
did.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'll second.
okay? Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Steve and I,
Bull's eye.
thank you.
You have me
Look
sweating
around,
for
I know
a
what's
minute.
going on.
Thank you.
A second. There you go. Oh, man, somebody
It's
was
hard to
slapping
read
me.
your facial expressions.
Myron,
Windstream Communications has submitted a utility permit to, run a short distance of overhead fiber, but mostly bury fiber in Iowa Township that actually starts from Belle Plaine city limits at the old Hogbine station going east on 78th Street Trail, south on 13th Avenue, 79th Street Trail, and as far east as 13th Avenue Drive. We meet our depth requirements. What they're proposing meets our interests, so I have no problem recommending the permit. Just need a motion to approve and the chairman's signature.
they putting it in the ditch or on the side of the road?
Putting it in the back slope, in the ditch area.
Good.
Did they do some work in Belle Plaine before? Was it a different area or was it the same? I remember there was something going
north of town.
north of town.
Yep.
Okay.
Trying to remember, like I say, things come and go. I think somebody else is doing something down in that area, a different utility is what I want to say, but might have been USA Communications.
Yeah, I think it was.
I mean, now that I think about it,
Yes, I think it was.
because they, two different suppliers of fiber in that area.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve or?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye. Just needs one signature?
Yes, it does.
You better do that.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you. That's all I have for you today.
You were easy.
Yeah.
So did this snow just pop? I didn't know it was supposed to snow. Where did this come from? It just popped up.
When I went home last night, I know there was a slight chance of what was supposed to be a trace to a quarter inch. I think it might be an inch plus in some areas.
Yeah, the further north you go. Yeah. I was surprised about it. Woke up and said, whoa.
I know that looked like it was a little bit more than a broom was gonna do on my driveway this morning, so I used the shovel. But it was light fluffy stuff, but yeah, the guy's been out since 5, so.
That bridge down there that they built this fall over Fremont, you know, it's done, correct?
The bridge is
itself?
built, the grading work for the approaches and the seating still need to be done.
Okay, and probably ain't gonna do that till the frost goes out.
If we get a warming spell, whether or not the latter part of this week and next week is enough for the dirt contractor to think about doing anything or not, he expressed a willingness to come in if we got a warm spell here this winter to do the dirt work. Otherwise, I don't anticipate anything until probably April.
Okay. Okay, just curious about it.
Yep.
I was asked about it.
No, we asked that same question with that warmer spell we had a month ago, and wasn't in a position to do anything, but said anytime February on, if we've got a warm spell, he would look at coming in. I wouldn't think that 3 or 4 days would take to do the dirt work, but the dirt's pretty good, solid, frozen right now.
Okay,
All right?
thanks, Myron.
Yep.
Thanks, Mara.
Hi, Myron.
Let's slip number 7 in right away. Discuss and approve Class C alcohol license for Terry Hills.
Saw that.
It's actually under Benton Golf Club, thank you.
I'll move to accept the Class C alcohol license for renewal for Terry Hills.
Okay,
I will second that.
all right, I will call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye,
Bull's eye.
for 12 months.
Speaking of that, did we find out when we're gonna do that other property? By there?
No,
That's true. So we need to ask him.
yes.
Yes.
I gotta ask that, actually. I think they had a
Okay.
meeting.
Okay, you gotta ask him.
Yeah, I just don't wanna forget.
He was waiting for the deed
I knew there was
to
something.
be brought
lined
up to date, and I thought it was done. But I know they wanna keep them separate.
Right.
Okay. Mark?
Yes. So I'm here to follow up with my last year's budget request. I had come to you guys at budget time and was asking for an adjustment in my salary based on comparisons that I had showed you with organizations throughout the state. At that time, I know Bruce had mentioned he didn't think I was in the position long enough, which I understand. Ron was in favor of looking at it possibly in 6 months. It was determined that couldn't be done based on the history with Benton County, the way we do things. So Bruce also mentioned in that meeting that maybe we could look at it again in a year, so I'm back, asking for your consideration to adjust that salary for myself, also based on like positions in Benton County. You know, I oversee 15 employees, 13 vehicles, 2 facilities, one here, one in Belle Plaine. So I think a more appropriate salary would be $70,000. So that's what I'm asking for today.
You have that in your current budget with the withholdings and all
Yeah.
that too?
Yep.
What is your, and you and I've talked,
Yep.
I'd like to see everybody get a raise.
Right.
I'd also like to see everybody's taxes go down. What is your current salary?
$61,456.
61,456.
So it's a 14% increase, same as I asked for last year.
I got too much stuff spread out here.
Well, gentlemen,
So like I said, I'd like to see everybody get a raise. I'd also like to see property taxes go down, or at least stay the same. I know there are proposals in legislature right now for property taxes. I assume our budget will be all set before we hear anything back on any of that. I'd kind of like to know where we're at before I do anything personally.
Bruce, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to word it. The only time that we've changed anyone's wages this year, and correct me if I'm wrong, is if there's been a change in the department, change in their responsibilities, promotions, they become deputies versus whatever they have. But other than that, I believe we've kept everyone's wages right at what they were. Am I correct with that?
Other than, like you said, like the sheriff union for
Right, or
longevity or.
contractual, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever we have as far as contracts go. But my biggest fear is that, to Ron's point, is that we're juggling a bunch of stuff and we don't know where we're gonna land. We don't know what kind of money we're gonna have. I'm not saying that, I mean, you're doing a fantastic job on the whole catastrophe, but I just can't commit to an increase right now when we're right in the middle of everything and don't know where we're gonna be.
So last week, you're concerned now, but last week, in a 2-minute presentation, the auditor's office got a $10,000 raise. So I guess I'm confused on,
I can speak on that behalf.
okay,
So I had an employee leave, which I had a lot of cushion in my budget when I advertised for the position. At that particular time, we weren't sure what the duties were because we were taking back HR and we were revamping in our office. So I told her at the time of hire, we would really look at it in 6 months and, gradually increase. That's still not a deputy's pay salary.
$10,000 for a graduate in 6 months?
So if I would have hired her at 50,000 I could have done that, but I wanted to go gradual. And she's met some qualifications that I asked her to do. And some things that other people don't know, my office is one of the only offices in the county ran business type offices that gets fined $10,000 for an infraction of any kind. And I also have to segregate duties per audit reasons that people don't know in other departments. Like we have to have a specific accounts payable, accounts receivable, person that opens the mail, can't do the deposits. There's things that other departments don't realize what my office has to do. So I can justify that as an elected official to pay her at that point, because I had it within my budget. So I know it's caused animosity, but I started her lower rather than starting her right out at that higher amount, so.
I guess my question is, most of the resolutions state that at hiring, so that's why I was confused. Like secondary roads was in here 3 weeks ago and they hired a secretary and said at 6 months, $1,000, and after a year, $1,000. It's transparent, it's in writing. So.
Well, I don't have to discuss with you what I discussed in her performance eval. You have the right to go into a closed session when we discuss that, so I'm not discussing my employee at this time. I don't feel I have to justify that to you.
I'm just speaking on transparency as far as, if that would have been in her hiring resolution, then yeah, it makes sense.
And you forget, back when I started, we had to earn our vacation. I worked 17 years here before I got 4 weeks of vacation. I had to earn my sick leave. You guys have it so good now where you start off a job and you get 2 weeks of vacation. You gotta look at some of those benefits too.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I just personally want to be treated consistently like some of the other department heads and my responsibilities.
I looked at it, you have, since you've been hired at 56,000 in April 8th of '24, you have got 5,456 raise in 20 months.
Right, and part of that was by law, because I was at the lowest.
33 cents an hour?
Yeah.
That's because of the Fair Labor Standard Act when he's an exempt
You had to do that
employee.
because lowest paid employee to give me that, so you didn't have to pay me overtime. Yeah, I appreciate what you've done. I'm just asking to be considered to be part of, other departments that, there's a lot of departments that don't have employees that they overlook, or a fleet of vehicles, or 2 facilities. And they started about the same time I did, and they make $5,000 or $6,000 more. I don't know if you guys actually look at that stuff or not. I don't think you do. Yeah, you told me no before, so that's fine. You can tell me no again. But I think there's a lot of discrepancies on who you choose to say yes to and who you choose to say no to.
Per our conversation,
Yeah.
and I told you I was gonna go find out what I could, and I have. And I get the segregation of duties part, because I got dinged on it at the sheriff's office every year because I didn't have enough people to segregate the duties how they wanted it done. So I do understand that. And like I said, I like things in writing also. But it was done at the one person retiring, another person coming in, and the conversation was had on the raise, which is what I told you I didn't know.
Sure.
And
I mean, if you want to see what we had, then,
and I'm satisfied
I
with
mean, I don't
what
have to show you. 'cause
the
it's not
conversation
clear.
I
No, it's fine. I don't need to
But,
see it.
I mean, we had a goals and checklists, and I guess my office doesn't do employee contracts like other departments have in the past, so I didn't put it in writing as that such.
Okay.
And I didn't put it in my resolution because at that particular time, the day of the hire, we weren't sure what the duties were gonna insist of, so.
I think you can see where I'm coming from
Yeah,
too. And like I
I
said,
do.
it does create a lot of animosity amongst employees. It's not personnel, you know, I have nothing against any personnel. You know, it's the concept of it, or the principle of, you know,
And if you also look at my budget, I'm coming in way under the last 2 years that I was 3 years ago too, with that.
Anybody else got anything else to say?
No, I understand, I mean, the resolutions and such, to where when someone is hired, is that not, it's not mandatory that we have that, is that correct? That it's listed on those things, is that?
As an elected official, we have the right when we want to appoint or
That's-
do that,
right,
as long as
okay.
you guys give us the budget, which I'm working within my budget.
Okay, so, and that's where we,
And this is not even a
Okay.
60% deputy salary pay. I'm not appointing her deputy. I feel they have to earn it, they have to go through a general election, they have to prove to me all those different steps,
Okay.
like I said. I mean, on my behalf, if I'm absent and they sign off, they're responsible. So it's very important that I get, committed, dedicated employees for those positions.
do you
But
anticipate?
I'm not on the agenda to
Right.
discuss my office at this time. We're discussing yours.
I'm gonna stay with, my vote's gonna be to, things will stay as is.
I would agree.
That's the way I kind of feel too.
Okay.
I get where you're coming from, I understand it, but hopefully that down the road that we can make it better.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening to me.
Okay?
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
I see Allison is still coming. Have you talked to her, Bruce?
I did, yeah, so she was gonna be here, I talked to her yesterday afternoon, and she had some concerns, but she was gonna be here, yeah.
Okay. I did kind of already incorporate like last year's amount into what you guys are looking at. Next week's agenda, we have the last of the few that need to present, which is, give me a second here. EDG is one of them. I told you that one. I'm waiting to hear on DHS. That's another one where I kind of, they don't fluctuate a whole lot. So I kind of left that one. And then we have Central Iowa Housing Trust Fund. We already got their form, but they're gonna come and present. Deanna,
Oh, yeah, you're right, she was not here
yeah,
yet.
she was not here. She rescheduled originally.
Okay.
So, can you think of any other that you want to bring in? Like I told you, the Belle Plaine volunteer, he just sends his requests, he usually don't come in.
Right, and I think Kate Roberts is scheduled, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep, and then next week we have the opening of the bids for the animal shelter.
that's next week already? She has a question for you. When are we
Oh,
gonna start
yeah.
the second?
Like what? meeting last night and they were asking when we were gonna proceed with that.
So the idea is because we haven't done something like this, just kind of set our procedures and see how this goes first. So probably no more, a little bit after next meeting,
Okay,
after we open up those sealed bids. Because I think we have everything in line, it just,
I knew you were waiting on, was it the abstract or something?
yeah, we got that a couple weeks back, and I know to at least allow Shelby to let people
Yeah.
know if they start calling in that we do have that.
Okay,
And
There's no structure down there for anybody
It's
to
just
look
land.
at.
I don't think so.
isn't it just strictly, it's just.
It's just
old
land.
Just a
railroad
railroad
right
line.
away.
Booklet.
It,
I
it's,
can't, I don't know what I did with mine.
it's like a right, old
I
right
still got
away.
mine.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's all right.
Probably full of golf balls.
Well, it
We're
lines up
already
to
beyond it,
where,
but I just wondered.
things have-
Goes down through the
So-
Or the
campground.
campground, yeah.
Yep.
So
I'll
if
find
you
it.
wouldn't mind apologizing to them, just
No,
say
that's
like
fine. They
this
were just
process
following
is
up.
kind of new,
Yep,
and we want to make sure that,
Make it as smooth as we can.
yes. And the whole abstract thing didn't help either, but that's just how it is.
Well, we started with the tough one, that's for sure.
Okay. Number 8, approve or deny family farm credits. The new applications, correct?
yep, and there's only one that the assessor requested that they did not qualify, so there's one disallowance and the rest are approved.
Okay.
So I just need a motion and then you get to sign them.
How many are there?
It's not like Homestead Military, I promise.
I know nothing about it.
Oh, okay.
Those
Just one
are,
signature?
so Family Farm it'll carry on, they don't have to come and re-sign up every year.
Re-sign,
So it's
okay.
just if there's been a ownership change or
Right.
parcel splitting or adding parcels, so that's why it's so less.
But but you can sign one and I can sign a few, is that, or does it have to
Does
be
it say
Tracy?
chairman? It's usually the chairman. But let me see. It might just say
It's good to
supervisor.
be the king, right, Tracy?
It just says board of supervisor.
Yeah, so I can help.
Let's split 'em
So,
up.
yep, you can split them all up.
There we go.
Nobody's gonna get writer's cramp today.
All right, so can I get a motion then?
I'll make an motion to approve the family farm credits for fiscal year '26.
Okay,
I'll second that
all
motion.
right, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
Maybe Allison is coming, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
I
not.
think.
All right, we can skip down. Reports.
I can report that I have nothing to report.
Cool.
I'll second that. Mine were all the week before.
No, they're not,
Okay.
yeah.
Mine seemed to bunch up all at the end of the month.
Tracy and I have one tonight.
Yeah,
Is that, well, you're gonna be there, well, wait a minute, you didn't post it as a,
Well, it's just if there's only one supervisor, it's been only him going, so I don't post that as a board of
Okay.
supervisor meeting.
I won't go.
I'm going because it's budget topic and.
Yeah, I don't wanna muddy the waters in any way by sitting there listening.
I have to pack.
That's right.
Oh, I,
Rub
Nope,
it in.
South Carolina this time.
okay,
It's a short one.
I had EasyCog last Tuesday Zoom meeting where they went over the applications to take care of, or take over Karen's spot. So they had 8 applications, so we discussed that in some length.
big
Okay.
shoes to fill.
Yes, and then on Thursday, I was down at EasyCog, we had a housing trust fund first. Can't remember. They haven't been doing too much because they were getting all their, projects done and closing out the grants. So they were busy doing that for the last 3-4 months.
I think they have to formally approve them.
Yes, that was the trust fund. Then EasyCog, we had our elections down there. Luckily, I dodged a bullet. We got John Green, the supervisor from Johnson County, is gonna be chairman. Kevin Heithusen from Iowa County is gonna be vice chair. And our Benton County, Kate Roberts is gonna be our secretary. So, and that was pretty quiet too, that meeting. Okay, that's about it for the report.
Wellness does have a meeting today at 2 o'clock, and I can't attend it,
Okay.
unfortunately. So I'll hopefully be able to report on what they have next
Uh-huh.
week.
I could, 2 o'clock,
Yes, it's in the jury room,
I could sit in on that for you, I won't.
if you wouldn't mind. And then I did have one question about open meetings training.
Yeah,
Is that something that we need to go?
we did
You
already.
did it.
I did it.
So anybody that's like after the
You
city
should've
school
got-
elections, anybody that's new has to do it within, was it 90 days?
Okay, so I don't have to worry about it.
Gosh,
It-
I don't know
think
that
it
one off
changed,
the top of
but-
my head.
You
'cause
did
that's
it out.
new
I thought it was within
legislation.
60 days, wasn't it?
60 or 90, I can't
Us,
remember.
us three did it out to Tama. last
That's
fall.
right.
And
That's
Heartland's
You should have
gonna
a
do it
nice-
again.
Oh, Heartland is?
They have, you should have a nice,
I got a certificate.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now, is that good for,
Yeah, but they're gonna do it every year, so
Okay.
you can
You'll say
encourage
a
everybody to
refresher
do it every
via-
year.
Oh, they
because
do?
Easy Cog is coming up here Thursday night and gonna run a class for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said I'd come up here, unlock the building, sit here until they're done and then lock it
So
up
I
and
think
leave.
I think Iowa State is also an available one to do it. There's different ones that they could choose
I
from.
know like some of our firms, like Huebner and Hopkins
Yes,
offers training. Allers and Cooney, I think just got approved
are they
to
free,
be
do you know?
trainers. What's that?
Are they free?
Probably not.
I know. So most of the cities and schools, they would like the free ones, so we've kind of
What-
given them a few
What time
to
is
choose
the
from.
Easy Cog training?
Yeah, because
6 o'clock
IPIB has a
Thursday night.
list of
Yes.
their
Up here.
approved.
And that's what we sent
In
out
this very
with the
room.
newly elected
Huh?
people,
In
with
this
their
very room.
certificates
You
in
got
the
it.
mail.
Gotcha.
I just may sit in on that way I'm,
But I don't know whose job it
Ahead
is
of
to
the
police, I think it would be each
Oh,
government,
okay.
like,
And that's the open records?
not
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, open records, open meetings.
open meetings, yes. Because I think Easy Cog's charging $25,
oh,
I believe.
yeah, I mean,
I think so, because I know, I'm thinking the mayor of Newhall and also one of the new council members that got elected are coming up here as of last week. They said they're coming up next Thursday, since I was gonna open the building up and the gal
Is it at
from
night?
Easy Cog, yes, it is, 6 o'clock.
Not this Thursday, next
I wanna make
This
sure I-
coming Thursday,
make sure I have
This
you on the
coming
calendar so
Thursday.
nobody's using it.
You're talking the 5th then, right?
yes. Because I thought there's no need to put it on the schedule, the county schedule for this office or the building, because it's at night.
Because you're using it during the day, right, Derek? On the 5th, it says you're using it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, the
Yeah.
4th and the 5th,
Yep.
at least this room.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'll
let's
put
see,
Tracy
it's
down
6
for
o'clock
that.
is when this starts,
Okay, yeah.
Thursday night. You'll be out of here?
Sorry, Tracy.
Yes,
Yeah, we should
Thursday
be.
night
Yep,
by
we
6
should be,
o'clock.
we should be done
Okay.
well by then, so.
Okay,
There she is.
so. And I don't know how many is gonna attend, don't have a clue, so.
Okay.
They weren't very happy, they didn't have too many signed up as last Thursday.
Did they send something out to people?
I really don't know,
I never saw anything, I mean,
you
they're
know
not
what I mean,
meeting.
because they emailed me like a month and a half ago already if I could find someplace, or if the county had someplace to do it. And I said, well, yeah, you can probably, if you're gonna do it at night, you can do it in this room, so,
It's at 6 o'clock?
yeah. So like I said, the only thing drawback is for me, I gotta come from Newhall up here,
Right.
babysit, and then go back home. But I do it all the time, so
That's
no
right.
big deal.
Is it available to anyone or?
Anybody that got elected,
Okay,
anybody.
Maybe I can send something out to the city school contacts or something today,
It wouldn't hurt, because
just
you
in
know,
case they didn't get theirs in.
yeah, because I know they were saying that, you know, anybody that was elected before, that, anybody that was on the ballot November of last year has to come or go through a class, whether it's online or in person.
Do you know who the contact person is there? So that I could reach out, make sure I know the times and such before I send out something.
Just send it down to Karen Kurt. She forwarded it. I think Rob,
ask her
I
real
can't
quick.
remember which one of the gals down there is in charge of it. I can't remember if it was Rob, I could look on my email and tell you.
Yeah,
I think it was Robin, but I'm not positive. Talked to too many people here the last 2 weeks.
all right, that's fine.
Okay,
I can just reach out to her too.
all right.
Hey, Allison.
How are you?
How are you?
I tried to call you to tell you I was running
I
late.
seen your name, so I figured you're coming, so.
Well, you can only go so fast on roads like this.
That's right.
So I'm here for budget for Historic Preservation Commission. I'll be honest with you, I ran right in here, the paperwork's in there, but I got it up here.
Okay.
Our budget for this last year was $10,135. We increased it to $10,002 because we've had overages for our copier. I think the reason we had overages for the copier is because it was in here. And,
It was probably ran through the county and we get charged per, like,
Uh-uh.
color, no?
no, where I'm going with it is it sat over there, and anybody that had a meeting in here could have went, oh, it's a copier. They weren't horrible overages?
Wouldn't think they could go unless they were on our Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Oh, no, but I'm talking copy, like stick a piece of paper
Oh,
in there, post a
gotcha.
button.
Because that one is restricted, so.
Yeah, ours had nothing on it and sat over there and
Gotcha.
have no idea, but all of us on commission were like, how are we going over? Meaning, what are you doing? And none of us could come up with,
I think we can probably be okay with that.
if you look at,
$65?
yeah,
Okay.
if you look at our budget, the reason there's so much left in it is our conferences are in the first week in June. And then there's a national one that we occasionally, like this year, it's in Minneapolis, not Palm Beach. But we have to budget for a conference that's in June of '27. We don't, it could be in Cedar Rapids, it could be in Sioux City. So I tend to budget large instead of, uh-oh. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I plan for the farthest away and the most expensive instead of,
That's.
Cutting it the wrong way.
Things.
okay. So other than that, that's where we're at.
You also have that historic preservation fund, that 0003, and it has $9,167 in it.
Okay,
So that's like what you made on those, what'd you have put on that
Oh,
training or?
Your restoration?
Yeah, that project that you guys did whenever you got the registration fees, it went into that fund.
okay.
So I'm just saying, that spending authority is for specific uses, but there is $9,167 in there.
Okay. Is it possible to get a detail on that?
The-
A report?
Of the deposits that were made? I mean, because there hasn't been any activity outgoing, but there's been ingoing.
Okay,
Yeah, I can.
that'd be great.
Because what I do is I look at the budget and I look at the fund balance, and I put that much spending authority in there,
Okay,
just in case, because that's specific to the historic preservation. It was created back when the clock tower was, the first time we were trying to restore it.
Yeah.
We were getting donations and things for that,
Okay.
so. I think when you guys started, it was like, had a fund, 3,000 and something left in it.
yeah.
So. Which technically we could have used that towards the,
Tower for clock. Too late now.
but if we have other things like that,
She's all
We
that.
took that out
I
of
didn't know it
the.
was there.
lost. Or not lost, our
Well, yeah,
Or I would have
that's
said
what I thought.
something.
Yeah, something comes up, now you know you've got a little cash.
Okay.
I mean, I think technically you could use that for conferences and stuff.
Okay,
Because you're bettering the Preservation Commission by doing so. And save the county dollar.
You're in good shape.
okay.
And Haley will get you down.
I'll just give her a revenue detail on that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
because your name is not in here yet.
Because I was waiting for her numbers. So
Mhm.
like I said, I put basically what she asked last year, so I'll go in and tweak that printer and up it to that.
Yeah, whatever that last quarter category is.
Yep. Office maintenance equipment. that for you. And then I'll send you, well, it'll be incorporated in there.
Okay. And I'll be back in a couple of weeks because our yearly thing for the state's due by the 20th of February, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Do
Gotta
we
get
put you
a
on the
signature on it.
17th? Before I forget? That'll be the Tuesday, the 17th, if it's due the 20th. Or 20th, okay. That's January.
Yeah.
I'm behind.
It's been a day.
I hear ya. 18th or 25th is, or the 17th or 24th, I should say, is when the board would meet, so.
You got a big calendar here. You-
Well, my
Behind there also.
glasses are at home.
Oh, no!
Oh, it's 1, 2, 3. It's gotta be the 24th because the 19th is our meeting.
Okay, I'll put you on the
Okay.
24th.
And we're in February now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I told you I was
At
behind.
least I know that.
Okay, well, thanks, Alan.
And
Thank
then
you.
we also have a community outreach project in the works, but I'm not all put together for that yet, so
Okay,
I'll bring that done too.
What is that report called again? The historic
Annual report.
Annual report. Okay,
that has to be signed and sent in.
yeah,
Yes.
okay, I got you down. You want to say 9:45 again? Does that give you enough
That
time?
pushes me.
10? I
That'd be
mean,
great.
give or take, we might have to, or if you could email it to me ahead of time too, if push comes to shove, if we don't have enough agenda.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Works.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a bunch.
Yeah. See ya.
okay. Budget work,
Yep, I put a lot of things in your folders.
I
Yes,
see
she
that.
did.
I've been busy. The one that you asked me to do, to list out the outside agencies,
Yep,
that way we can keep track, yes,
Yep.
no, so I can fill out their forms to go back
I
and
just
forth.
wrote her asking in mine.
Okay. I also printed out fiscal year 26 AFR, which is our annual financial, so that's how we ended last year's budget,
Mm-hmm.
because I have to incorporate those numbers into the this year's, because we put how we ended, what are we estimated, and then what we're asking. So I gave you a very rough draft of the state budget format. And then I haven't ran the big expenditure ones until we get like all these other departments all tweaked in there. So you can look at them as a whole again. The revenues page, page 6, I believe, yeah. Now that's a rough estimate if you leave the levies as is from last year. And then I went ahead and did all the other revenues at each department and grants, lost, Myron's. Like I said, this is a very rough draft. I estimated what our ending balance would be at the end of the current year by utilizing where we left off, what we're re-estimating. I do have to go in and do some of those amendments we did, tweak those in the correct line items. But then that summary page, I know you guys are, if you look at the first page, that revenue coming in, we are estimated 30,268,567, but you're still,
What page number you on now?
just that top page.
Okay.
But you're still estimating 35 million in expenditures. So hopefully we can bring that gap a little closer, although I sent you guys some stuff on the legislative proposals with the fund balance reserves. We might be limited to only having a 10% balance reserve versus our 30%, or, third. So I have a calculator, or a spreadsheet I'm creating, so I'm gonna take a look at our fund balances and see what those percentages and what that allows us to keep going forward. If it passes, I mean, it's still kind of in limbo, but.
We'll have our budget set before they ever decide what we're gonna do there.
And then there's also, I don't know if you're keeping track on the legislative stuff, like the assessment administration part, the cap on the valuation growth, like if it's new construction, improvements, et cetera. We can't increase it if it exceeds the maximum. They're also talking about the homestead being changed to a $25,000 credit to everybody. So if you take that times our levies and stuff, that would be that cushion that we won't get as in tax dollars. So I think sometimes the legislators, they're not looking at it, you know, they're trying to cut the state level, but us little ones are really gonna have to focus and fight hard, so. So there's a lot of that in legislative right now. And it definitely affects us all. It affects the cities too. Schools, everybody, if they look at that credit and the cap on growth. I think they're trying to do is basically a statewide equalization is what their goal in mind is. And also, in there, we put that, I know we've talked about this numerous times, the maintenance tower agreement. I think Dean was okay with helping pay for that at the E911 fund.
That was the impression I got.
So I need to get with him and maybe I can lower that portion.
Yeah.
Because right now I have it in there for our $245,000 payment.
Because the state's got their eye on that fund, don't they?
I don't know why they're picking on E911 this year, because it's kind of important.
Because they can.
Because they want money.
I mean, they're even taking away the surcharges that we used to get.
It's an election year.
Yeah.
They've said for years that they're gonna pick up a bunch of those charges we get every month.
Well, that's also, if you recall, on the end of the annual financial report on that last page where we put what's restricted, what's committed, we're gonna have to really be careful what we put there, because if it's unreserved, then that's where they'll come in and say, oh, you don't have a use for that money, then it's,
We do.
We're gonna take it. That'll take me more than 15 minutes to get through.
well, and I might send you this new stuff on the assessment limitations and stuff too, so you can start grasping what I'm trying to explain to you, because it's a lot. Are you guys going to ISAC in March? Because there is that night where we have, you meet the legislators, you have a reception, and you can actually go and talk to certain ones and give them your opinions. They allow that for us. It was nice last year, honestly.
I will try to make March work.
Because that registration is open.
Yeah. What was the dates, what were the dates on, do you remember?
I think it's March 11th through 13th. So the 11th will be the night they have the legislative meet and greet type thing in the hotel. And then the conference stuff starts on the 12th and 13th. So like for you, Bruce, usually the supervisors have joint sessions with the auditors on that first day.
On the 12th?
And- Yep, and then
Yeah.
we'll start to break out into your affiliate.
Always get a lot of good information at that.
And I'm sure
Rod, you were
they'll
there
be-
last year, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will present the legislative proposals, and there might be some that have been adopted or passed by then, and
Right.
they'll go over all that with us. So I would say it's,
I've got it written down to you. I don't know that I can make the 12th, but or the 11th, but I can make the 12th.
okay, the 11th is like in the evening, so
Yeah,
you'd either have to spend the night and go back to your bus route, or just come and
Yeah.
go as you want. I think it starts at like 5:30. So if you want, I can register you for that.
what's the fee for the registration, because I don't want to register if I can.
They usually break it down per day, let me see. They used to anyway, let me get on here and look. Because they'll also have a block of rooms if you get in there in time. Of course, my session timed out.
They don't have an agenda yet for the,
Yeah, they kind of have most of it set up.
they do?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you already had a login to ISAC, they changed the portal, so you have to start all over and create a new one. Because they went with a different platform.
I don't recall if I had one or not, I think I might have.
I think you did,
Yeah,
but
I
you
did.
would have got an email from Rachel to change it, Rachel Bennett from ISAC.
I'll write a note. I'll check that.
Spring conference.
Check that out.
On the reports that you give us here, Haley, where is the ending balance of June 30th?
Of 26, where it's gonna be. It's on the revenue page. So what this is you know all those budget worksheets that I give you? Basically, I have to summarize everything, and they have to go in their specific spot by service area.
Okay,
So that's why if somebody's gonna go and make a change, it might affect 3 different places on here. So I
Right.
try not to go into too much effort on this part until you guys are done making a bunch of changes, but I know you guys wanna see it in a overview. So down here on the revenues page, page 6, if you look at 35, beginning fund balance and column 34 or line 34, that's what a rough estimate of those fund balance is gonna be after the end of this fiscal year, utilizing what everybody said that they're gonna use for that re-estimated column, which is our current year. So this is gonna match that AFR I gave you. That's all that. And this is our current year, what I'm re-estimating. And like I said, the only thing that should be fine on that one, because that one includes amendments and those departments that know they're not gonna spend, or vice versa. I went into greater detail with that.
okay.
So that's where that ending balance comes in, rough estimate. And then if you go to page, towards the end, I mean, this page I have to list out our, so page 13, service area 0. This is kind of the summary page. It'll show you the expenditure summary too. And then down at the bottom, line 36, that's kind of estimating where we're gonna end. Granted, if you look back at prior years, it's always lower than what we actually come in if you look at the AFR. So, but I have to go in and fill out the restricted, committed, all that stuff here, so.
So that's estimated what we're gonna have left.
In general basic, general sup. So we could probably lower general sup, because to me that's, pretty good size. This general other, that would be like where we pay the mental health stuff, because that fund 006, it's basically related to general basic, but, and then that would be like where that fund, the
Was
historic and all
the
those.
CDs and everything that we have, that's included in that?
Yes, that's all. And then here's our rural service. So I could probably lower that, because I know Myron's he said he might lower the transfer. So we could look at the levy and maybe possibly lower that one. Can't do anything with secondary roads, because that stays. Other would be like lost, the ARPA, some of those grant money. Debt service, that's the one where we're paying that radio tower project.
Correct.
Is that the remaining balance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't know why it's showing I have a cushion. Usually that should wipe out, so I might be able to go in there and tweak that.
Where's our remaining balance on that?
On the debt service? Oh, for the tower project?
Yeah.
I gotta look at the
Okay.
payment schedule. I think we're on here,
Is that on page 14?
yep, that's where I list out what we have to budget for the principal and interest due. And then we pay that registration fee every year, so. we have to pay $809,350, so we can levy for that. That one is definitely, you can only levy for that when we have that bond.
Okay.
The permanent, that is, like the Carolyn Sue Donovan, that conservation, where she can only spend on the interest, so that one's not very huge, but the balance is nice. And then obviously capital projects is specific use, that'd be our land acquisition fund, and then that would be, the capital projects that I was talking about, I have like 80,000 left that we use from this building and
So
stuff.
we're looking like at 27
Million total, but it's not all
total.
cash available.
Correct, I understand that, because I was going to what you publicized at the end of
That's this one.
December.
That was the
Okay.
AFR summary.
Yes,
Yep.
and we had 29, we went down about 900,000. We spent 900,000 more than what we took in.
That's why I said, this is always worst-case scenario, just like Allison said, or me. I have to put amounts in there for budget, just because. Special election, we might not have one, so we don't use it. So this is if we spent every dollar of asking versus what we bring in.
Okay.
So. And that's, like I said, very rough estimate, but it gives you an idea. We can probably fluctuate a little bit on the levies. And then this is that one for that mailing I have to do, is on page 2, where it shows you our growth and all that, and this is so confusing. I just feel sorry for people because they don't understand it. So, this is gonna say we're gonna have that in growth in just our taxes, so, which isn't a lot, but, and that's keeping the levies, like I said, the same as we did last year. But I think we could probably reduce in a few, so that's a
Okay.
good thing. I mean,
The next question I got, not to pick on any entities, does the TIF money, how's that figure in on our total?
that, we don't, as a county, don't have a TIF. The cities, that money stays the same, whether they're in a TIF district or not. The same consolidated tax rate is the same. It's just that's allocated in the increment of the TIF goes directly to, like, the city, because they pay the payments, like, for their, they might have an agreement with the contractor, developer agreements, and then they pay, like, their infrastructure payments. So that amount in the increment goes directly to that entity, and then, like, the schools and us, we don't see that part of it, so. And that's,
So the only one that technically, it don't hurt us, the couple towns that's got it.
it does, and generally.
But it hurts the schools.
It hurts the schools more so. If you recall, like, when we had to go, that's why we had to sit down at Belle Plaine when they were doing a new tip. They always have to give us,
Yeah,
the notice, so that we can go voice our
Right.
opinions. So we sat there with the school, Belle Plaine and us for the
Yep.
new tip. So,
yeah, I think there's another one coming down the pipeline shortly, so.
I also heard but yeah. So when I do the valuation report, every city has to tell me what they're asking for in TIF dollars, because then I have to tell it in the valuation system. So every entity, when they get their valuation report, that TIF dollar amount is already taken away from what they're looking at for their taxable value. So that's kind of helps them prepare their budget without that TIF dollars. If that makes sense, if you look
Yep.
at the valuation report.
Yep.
Okay. I know it's a lot to digest, but
Yeah. But if we reduce some of these figures, our end balance won't be
As high.
what you got figured.
correct.
It'll be less.
Yep. So you tell me if you wanted me to play around with that, I can go in and play around, and you have a goal in mind. I know last year we reduced from the year prior, so, I mean, that's just it. We've been reducing because we were forced to with the 2% growth. This year, we got to kind of level it out, so.
And you're saying that they're leaning on in Des Moines instead of having 30% reserve?
Fund balance reserves.
Yeah.
Which, that's what I mean, I have a spreadsheet, and I'm gonna go in and plug some amounts in and see, like, where we ended AFR and what I'm predicting we're gonna end, and see what percentage that is as a whole, so. which my auditors association, we're doing that, we're trying to help other auditors too, so.
How is, you probably can't tell me, how is the other counties? I know, not counting Tama, we know about them, but I mean,
What they're doing.
yeah, how everybody else is.
I think Mahaska's doing well.
Yeah,
from what I
there's
can
some
get.
that were still over that 3.5 max.
Really?
Oh, yeah, there was still 30 counties, so they have a gradual. Because the only reason they could go above that max is probably they were justifying that they were paying out more than they were bringing in. But you have to still have a specific reason. Say we had to build a new building or major flood damage or something, you know. They have to have a specific reason to go above that 3.5. And that's been capped for how many years? That's sit at the state. We've been capped at our levies, but the general sup is unlimited. Rural services is capped, but then the rural supplemental. So if you're at your max at general basic, then we can levy at general sup. If you're at your max at rural services, then you can utilize rural sup, which it's been years since we used rural sup. I don't think we're at that stage at all. So. Because like I said, that's one of the funds I think we could reduce. And that one is a restricted fund. Obviously, it's just for rural purposes. So. But like our landfill fees, all that's kind of stayed the same for, I don't remember the last time they increased it.
They haven't, they actually,
Like 6 years ago, I think it was when I looked.
I think it's before the commission started, because if I remember right, they have lowered the per capita fee 3 times. And I'm thinking the first 1 or 2 times that it did not get passed on to the residents. So that's why they're kind of,
Well, and that's another thing, you know, with the mental health fund, we don't levy for it here, but we're still paying it out and then getting reimbursed. So you're still showing that amount in your budget, but we just
Yeah.
don't have the authority to levy. So that's, I don't know where we're going with that. I've been working with Sarah and Dawn from Lynn County.
yeah, I sent them an email one day, you know how long it's going to go on, but
Correct.
I never got a response, so.
Oh, who'd you send it to? I can give you my contact too. I can talk.
All the gal that's in charge of
Deb
Sarah.
Bard, 'cause she's gonna be
Without
retired.
looking, I can't tell you.
Okay.
I'm just curious how
Yeah.
long is this?
But that's another one where last year in that fund balance, I thought I was gonna have to pay out more than I did, and I got it down to $800, because I kept proving to them what we paid
Mhm.
here, and they finally agreed, so I only paid them $800
Okay.
back.
They started out big.
Oh, yeah. I think they wanted 80,000 from me, and I'm like, there's no way. And so I started going through every payroll, the cost advisory reports, and I got it down, so.
How, and maybe you don't know, Derek, how are we sitting over at detention right now?
Our one child that's been brought up, she is getting hauled back.
From Texas?
That order just went through yesterday.
So I need to up that already for next year? 'Cause-
I don't know what that process is gonna be, so, good with Ray being out.
He's a,
I think I put 80 in there.
That didn't last long.
Yeah. Yeah.
longer than the rest.
But if we get that 2080 signed, then they can't charge us that max, right? Or they can't go over that
Is that at 150?
a day. Instead of
Right.
we were paying $400 a day. before.
Right.
Is that in place already?
No,
Okay, of course not.
they're
Do they
working.
think before the fiscal year? I sure hope so.
I'd love to see it. I'll go over there this,
Because
Uh,
that's out of general supplemental,
yeah.
so.
January's was, that was a 30 below day. So I did it by Zoom, and I don't like to attend that meeting in Zoom.
In that particular fund, that's one of those it's important to have reserves because like I said, if I have a special election or we have to amend for different reasons, we can't levy any more than we already asked, so we have to utilize that fund balance.
Question under the law enforcement, were we gonna put some of that money into the rural basic?
I am paying 2 deputies out of there.
You are, okay.
Yep.
I'm not seeing it, I
It
guess.
should be on that, see, they're in service area 1.
I'm looking on page 7, I don't know
Oh,
if that's.
nope. Service area 1 would be all the sheriffs. That's roads. It should be the first expenditure page. There it is. So,
Okay,
oh, that's special revenue. Here's, hold on. You're looking at the AFR. You're on the AFR. Where's the budget one I sent you today? Yeah. So, what service area is that?
I don't know, I put a hole
Get
in
him out
it.
of,
Punctured it.
there it is.
Okay.
So,
So let's put
well,
it
it's
in
not
there.
in there, so I
No.
gotta, so that was me. I gotta fix that because
Okay,
I'll look at it.
because that'll be in rural basic?
Yep,
Okay.
and it's just 2. But
Just 2
yep,
deputies? Okay,
Yeah, because then that'll offset that one.
you're right,
But I think when they did it, they put it on one, but that's,
okay,
yeah. When I go back in and fine tooth it,
okay.
I mean, I believe we'll continue to pay the 2, especially with all our law contracts that we have in the smaller communities. See, Bruce is paying attention.
Hey, I just didn't see it in there, I thought, well.
And another nice thing is you can look at this and maybe compare with the AFR and the columns too and see the growth or where we've increased versus decreased. So that's kind of why I wanted to get that all ready for you. And once we get done, I'll also run you that budget worksheets and summarize all the departments in one report. So it'll list like all their funds, but it'll go by department in order.
Okay.
And I can do that for revenues too if you want.
So basically what you got printed out so far, estimating this fiscal year, 26 to 27, we're gonna be short. We're gonna spend more than what we're dragging in. We're gonna bring our fund balance down, correct?
Again, yep. But again, that's worst case scenario. Yep.
I got that.
Yep.
I got that, but still, when you look at the figures, we're losing ground.
And those cushions in those line items, that will definitely be in restricted use.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll show that on that summary page.
I mean, for like where people have spending authority?
Yep, so like-
These that we know we're not.
It's
gonna be
restricted,
spending.
so out of that fund balance, I have so much restricted towards elections.
Okay,
Or we have a resolution we do every June, it's after the end of the fiscal year. So say like land use, they have a vehicle. They're not gonna purchase it this year, they might next year. They put 5,000,
right.
Yep.
They get, yeah, because I saw that they had 100,000.
Yep, and then when they go to use it, then they put in their full spending. But we can look at the committed, subtract that amount, and then, yeah, know what we need to
We'll have a
levy.
number, okay.
Or I do that for election equipment. I put away a little bit every year because we have to upgrade.
Right.
But luckily, I was fortunate to use the ARPA funds this last time, because that's usually about 100,000 when we upgrade.
Where do we put in the, for the reserve that we have to have with Harlan?
That's in general supplemental,
That's a general sub?
which again, that's, right now, I just put in her rough estimates that she gave us for the renewals I gotta look at.
Yeah.
Like I said, I gotta go back through, but I know you guys wanna bump that, so.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
another area we're gonna have to put more in, so. things, you guys need to tell me what amounts you want. So I anticipate after we get all these other departments, we'll sit down and do a fine tooth. What I'll do is highlight some of those on that budget worksheet, and we'll have to fine tooth them a little bit more. And if there's any other kind of reports you want me to run, detail versus budget, year to date, certain department, certain fund, just let me know. I can manipulate the reports to show you what you want to look at.
Year-to-date, we have the 6-month, right?
Yep, I did that weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
But I can do that after every month going forward. It kind of helps
That's
look
where I
at,
got my information, that
for your half.
we spent 900,000,
More than what we brought in,
Correct.
based off of what,
correct, our
6
reserves
months.
went down.
well, I would for sure like to see one at the end of the quarter.
This
Yeah.
time of year too, there's more expenses, you know, like the heat's more, there's just different things that
Right.
that vary that.
Yeah, because most everybody was around the 50% mark, there were some around the mid
They were all pretty
40s.
decent.
Yeah, but like you said, all of a sudden, this next quarter, it's gonna be a big difference.
Yep.
Or
Well-
like snow removal, my
Well, I was
paid
gonna say,
overtime.
Yeah.
Conservation,
Right,
you know what I mean? Now come April, May, they're gonna be mowing lawns,
they're gonna be busy.
spraying. you
Or
know,
have their
you know.
seasonal employees and then there'll
Yep.
be more coming
Yep.
out.
Okay.
Like for me, I have a primary election in June, so it's like the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah,
But I still have expenses coming in next fiscal year due to the June primary, so.
That's pretty well it for the budget today.
you want to put
I'm,
food for thought. It used to be if we spent over X amount of dollars, you had to have board approval.
the procurement policy, like for getting bids and stuff, I know maintenance comes in for the little ones and stuff, but procurement, we currently have the 100,000, but I know other counties make it more specific for that reason, like vehicle or office equipment, office furniture, if it's gonna be over like 5,000, or that we should take bids or quotes so that you guys have a say. Kinda like the mailing I'm gonna be doing.
I get it, but for me, in the last 8 years, Benton County that I've been here, nobody, no heads of departments or anything went,
Overboard.
yeah,
Yeah, they didn't go on.
no, it was all common sense.
I mean, my
Right.
department got stand-up desk. This one was given to me, but it's nice on everybody's back, so I just,
Yeah.
but they're like $100 a piece, so
And I can see more of that stuff coming in,
it's,
because they do work.
when you sit 8 hours, or, you know, it's not good for people. You can get up and stand. But that mailing, for mailing services, you'll see that claim coming through, for that budget mailing I do. So I have to pay the postage up front. So it was almost $9,000 I'm estimating, so I have to pay that to the company up front before I even upload them all the data. So,
And in one of the proposals from, I don't know if it was the governor or which branch of the legislature, they proposed doing away with the mailer and doing it online somehow.
which, the mail service guy called me. If people opt to put like their email addresses on, that saves us, because then they can go out and view it, or they can regardless, both places. But yeah, another mandate that's passed on to us, so.
Right. You would think that they'd be all looking at all of that stuff, any way to save money. I mean, if it's available online instead of printing.
When you
it.
think about 99 counties doing that mailing,
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely crazy.
yeah. When you could basically post that on our websites and go out and look at it.
And go look at it.
Or
And if
somehow
they-
put it on the Beacon website, or,
And if they're that interested, and they don't have a computer, they could stop in the courthouse and look at it.
to me, that just caused
Or
more havoc. It's
Go to City
confusing.
Hall, they can look at it.
Yeah.
And then, like, the assessor will be sending out a notice not long after me, so why couldn't we have combined the two and saved money?
Right. Post it at the, stick it on the board at the post office, if somebody wants to look.
Last year's, when that mailing went out, that just confused and angered people is all it did.
We had people
thinking it was their taxes due and could write a
Yes.
check for that amount. We're like, no. Which is sad, but, yeah. Oh, also, next Monday, she'll be asked if you guys wanted to go to the conservation meeting as a joint session because Eric's gonna be presenting his IRM stuff.
What time's that?
It's 5:30, and it's gonna be held at the Nature Center. So if you're all three attending, then I'll have to post an agenda and come as well.
March.
Monday, February 9th, at 5:30.
5:30? And this is at Rogers?
Yeah,
Yep. Nature Center. See, I made myself a note or I would've forgot.
I had it down here.
Oh, you did? You were gonna forget too.
No, it's right here,
Oh,
right in front of me.
All right, it's in the
Okay.
book.
Now, I got one thing I want to show you guys that I dealt with Saturday. The ongoing problem.
did you get those emails I sent you?
Yeah,
Cause I went
I got
downstairs
a
and
lot,
dug some
and I
out
called
too.
the WMA.
Oh, you called the big one?
Yeah,
Okay, cause I got what I had.
yes. Here's the deal. Jim Plumbing out there, they built a pond. I know you've been by it. You maybe don't know nothing about it yet. It was through the WMA when they had that $13 million grant from the federal government to do all this, build ponds, build, terraces and
They
wetlands.
cost shared
and-
with them and all this.
Yeah,
Through the
yeah,
Cedar,
they did a lot of, projects, did a lot. But anyway, his was on the downhill side when they were getting done with this grant that they had, the WMA. The pond itself, the problem is, it's been not right. I got a picture here, I can show you guys here what the whole problem is. It's 6-foot pipe that are 30 foot down. There's a cement divider between these pipes. And they're stacked on top of each other. I believe they're about 8 foot tall. So they started at the bottom of the ground on the grade, and they stacked them all up. And the object was the water was supposed to come in, it's got also has a pipe at the bottom of this big 6-foot pipe that comes out in the pond up at an angle. So for some reason, say you wanted to drain the pond down, you'd open up that valve, the water would come in and shoot right across and drain the pond without digging the dam out. Thought, good idea. And then the overflow of the whole deal, the way this project is, the water's supposed to come in the bottom of this 6-foot pipe, fill up on the inside of the pipe, and then if the pond's too full, then the divider inside that pipe is about 6-8 inches lower than the outside circumference of the pipe. So the water would come over top and drop down the other side and then go out underneath Highway 218. Ever since it's been built, when they seamed all these tile together or stacked them on top of each other, they were never sealed properly.
So it's
So they've
leaking?
been seeping.
Okay.
Okay, the seep, for some reason, has turned into a full, Moses has opened it up.
She's coming
It's
out.
letting her the water is, it looks to me, looking down that pipe, that the water pressure coming through on the seam has actually ate the cement out.
Goodness.
The water coming through, where it was set together, actually. And I'm estimating 30 to 80 gallons a minute the pond is losing.
Oh.
So, last fall, they built a pond on the north side of the highway, had the dam done and everything, and this is what caught their eye. last Thursday when they're driving by, the water is going over the new dam on the north side of the highway. It's leaking from the pond that's on the south side of the highway. So then it's a river through the fields.
Right.
It comes down and drops in the road ditch and then it goes all the way another half mile to the creek and gets in. I mean, it is such a mess.
It's running. I drove up and looked at it.
So, when I started a little bit more investigating, the pond, you know, of course, is froze over 10, 12 inches of ice. And it's probably, Saturday was probably 3 to 4 foot water level below the ice. Right now, the ice is still, it has sagged down some from the banks, you know, you can see that by eye, but it's a gap underneath there. So this has been a problem ever since the pond got filled up. So yesterday, I contacted the WMA. Now, I understand that grant money and everything is gone now. That supposedly the project's supposed to be done. There was no money left over in reserves in case there's a problem in any of these projects. Okay, when this all started, Benton County was the pass-through,
Fiscal agent.
Okay.
the money would come into Haley and Haley would pay the bills, understand? She did not get any money out of the fees for doing this.
We found out we could have been collecting admin fees because it was a lot of work.
You could have been?
Yes,
So like, we had to be an IEDA audit, we had the federal audit because of that, because of the amount, we had to incorporate that in our budget. So it was a huge undertaking, and it lasted about 6 years.
wow.
Yeah. But there was no way we could have, we were already short. We were
Yeah.
borrowing from, was it Iowa County?
Yeah, when the project was all done, we were like $400,000 short.
Sure.
That Benton County had out of their pocket that couldn't get reimbursed, so Iowa County did not use all their funds, so that's how we got paid
Okay.
what we had out. So I mean, we're technically even, you know. I mean, she donated all her time and labor, her office did, for this whole deal.
I mean, that's
One-
just another example of my office getting dumped on with
Right.
duties, so.
So one of the things is, we had a gentleman that was in charge of this project, and he could see that this 5-year deal, the money was gonna be gone, and he was gonna be out of a job. So he left SHIP before the projects were actually done. So we had a gal from Easy Cog took over the projects to finish them out.
So now we got a bad pond.
Yes,
No
we got
money
a
to
pond
fix
that's
it.
leaking, you know, so that's why I contacted the WMA that, you know, is there anything you guys can do? And I guess basically, I was told that,
We're done.
yeah, the project's done, there is no money.
Is this the only one that's had this problem? 'Cause
Well,
it's-
we got a little problem
One
with
other
one
one.
here south of,
Town, yeah, there's
Yeah.
been 2, but different contractors did the projects though.
they had a,
Nowhere else in the state where this went on, or any other counties having issues with this?
I don't know about other
We've only heard the
WMAs.
ones that are in ours.
Yeah,
But when they used to bid those projects, they would bid it as a packet. So say bid packet number 2, they had 4 little locations.
Okay.
So once they did all those, then they moved on to the next. So they would allocate, because they'd have to post money that they're gonna release the funds for these specific projects. So it was, like, over the years time span, it seemed like it was slow going at first, but once they got going, we got a lot of locations in just our county, but some of that money went towards out-of-county stuff too. But those, I thought, if you read those contracts with the vendor that did it, the work, because they had to post bond too on that, I think they're
but the
responsible for
bond was
some.
only good for 12 months, when I found out about it.
So that was the guarantee, 12 months, and then now that's gone.
Because they had to provide us that. It's
Right.
just they're-
He's been, I mean, they knew this was happening because the last email I got yesterday afternoon from Easy Cog stating that you know, they went back over all the emails and everything, and, you know, that, yeah, there's a problem way back in 22 and 23, but we can't find out how they solved it. Well, that's pretty simple, because they didn't solve
They
it.
didn't, it just kept getting worse.
Yes,
So the choices are drain it and get rid of it, or
I
can it
mean,
be
the guy's
sleeved?
got, you know, a couple $1,000s worth of fish in there. They've been there for 5 years.
Right,
They're decent size, I mean, they're,
yeah, but if the thing's gonna drain down on its own,
so I don't know. He contacted the engineer company that's in Minneapolis. They sent a person down in October of last year. Took pictures and looked at everything, and at that time, you know, it was just more or less squirting out of the seams, not like it is now. They said, okay, we'll take it back up to Minneapolis and we'll look at it and decide how to solve this problem, we'll let you know. Well, that was back in October. He's been calling them. They won't
Crickets.
return his calls.
could've figured that.
So, and I feel
So
so
you
bad.
can't put it, I mean, there's no way to patch it, the diver with, there's nothing,
It's only about yay wide, you know, the widest part, because it's a 6 foot and it's got a cement wall in it. And then what I could see is that the water actually has eroded around the back side where it shouldn't even got to.
So it could be bypassing this whole system. We don't know. Oh, boy. Never thought about that.
Because it's, the main part where it's squirting is in that center wall in it.
does the system have to be in place? Can they fill it? And eliminate, and just, I mean,
Okay, yeah. To kind of explain this all, there is a, now, not positive, but I think there's a 24 by 24 inch culvert under the highway. Okay, so then they laid I think they put a 24 inch plastic culvert underneath there, which hooks to the overflow on this pond. Okay, so if you, say you slug this whole thing full of cement, there is no way to get the water then, if the dam is too full, it'll run over the highway. Because you'll be plugging the culvert that goes
that
underneath
goes
the
underneath
highway.
it, right. Oh.
So I was just bringing you guys kind of up to date, so like I said, that when I called the WMA yesterday, that Mary Beth that was here the other day, she's gone on vacation, I get it, I understand that. But then when I was going through the information that Haley gave us today, you know, they're asking for money from Benton County to be a member of the WMA, but yet we have a problem here
And we're not
that
getting
was
any.
caused from the, you know, not caused, but I mean,
The WMA project, that's a
Yes.
problem.
What, so are they even doing any projects with this new funding that they're getting?
so far, no.
Because that's the reason, because I was like, oh, hell to the no, I'm not being the fiscal agent going forward.
So as of right now, no, they're trying to get grants to get different projects. I believe they did get some grants to do these, where the tile evaporates, you know, they dig a hole and put tree bark in it for nitrates instead of just running it down the field. You know, I think they did a couple of them projects.
What about if this doesn't get up and running, will they give us our funds back?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
because we paid last year. I mean, technically, we're going on year 3. They asked 2 years ago and we didn't give them any.
Yeah.
There's no way to sink another one beside it, and then we catch that.
Biggest problem is who's gonna pay for this?
Yeah,
That's where the farmer comes in. Who's paying for this?
Is the water exiting through this plastic culvert underneath?
Yes,
Okay, so it's
yes,
at least going in the right place.
yes.
but it's just coming in at a rate that's, so in the scheme of things, it's, the county, all the county did was the bulk work.
Yeah, we
So
didn't,
I mean, so there's really, we don't have any.
No, but see, when it comes to the giving the contracts on all this, I had to attend always them meetings in here, you know, with the contractors, when they'd open it up for bids, and the contractors submit their bids, and then we, as 3 supervisors at that time, we'd say, all right, you're the lowest bid, you got the job, so the contract would come to me. At that time, I was chairman,
Mhm.
and have to sign for, you know, this. So if any kind of change order that was gonna happen on any one of the projects,
Had to come in here.
the guy, that one won't mention names, but the guy have to come back in here and say, all right, we got a change order, you know, to put 2 more semi-loads of gravel around the pond, you know, so then us 3 supervisors, yeah, we okay the change order for that project,
Mhm.
you know, so I mean, this is how we were involved with it.
We even had to send out tribal notices, like if we're disturbing ground that could have been possible tribal
Okay.
things. So certain ones I'd have to send out certified mailing for tribal notices and give them the notice of the stuff.
Including historical preservation, I'm sure, they all had to sign off on it.
But some of those projects, there was owner match too. The owners paid so much towards it.
Okay.
10% or,
Jim
Yeah,
got
yeah, so they would
10%
pay that
of that.
revenue to us up front, but it would go in the watershed fund.
I just can't imagine that this is a local issue, that somebody else has had to deal with it. And maybe there's a fit, but then do you
Just
think
one second,
that this group that's crickets now, you would think that they would know that?
And maybe it's just the particular location where
Could
there's
be
an
a
issue
one-off.
or something.
So
But
we
like
have
you
to
said,
get- we
there
have to
should be
get
a
the money.
reserve for those errors and omissions somewhere.
Is this,
yeah, I think that's, they were looking at that bond, and that bond was only good for
1 year.
1 year. Well, you know, well, with it seeping a little bit, you know, you could look down at, oh, that ain't that bad, kinda like a leaky faucet, it just drip, 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 oh, that ain't that bad. You come back a year, it goes from a drip to a run, well, you should've fixed it last year when it was dripping.
When it was drip.
Well, this is kinda the same way, well, the bond was only good for 12 months.
And that one particular board minutes that I sent you, did you notice that that contractor and the owner were here discussing it?
Uh-huh,
Was that within the year of that bond?
no, it was
Because
past that.
we told them that they needed to discuss it with legal
Yep.
counsel or whatever.
Yep.
It wasn't our deal.
Right.
so is this a new concept in how this system works? Is this something that was an experiment?
It was engineered, is all I can tell you.
I didn't know if this pond was the guinea
See-
pig for this system.
See, most ponds, you know, when they're built, they got a regular tube to keep it level, and then they got an overflow on one side of the dam, but in case the overflow can't handle it. Well, here they're using the highway 218 as part of the dam.
Because it runs right up to the ditch.
Yep. You can almost cash your pole out of your car when you drive by. I mean,
But
it's
where's this
getting
located, north of them?
north, yeah, around the curve.
Oh,
If you got a minute, I could drive you out there after there, and just do a drive-by.
yeah.
There's, past the Garrison Corner, there's 3 big roller hills,
Yeah.
and it's right in the bottom of the first big hill.
I mean, it's been a nightmare ever since it's been built. Because I have dealt with this, I'd hate to see how many times I went up there in the last 4 years. I mean, it's pathetic. They hired a company to put the fence in. So they put a fence in the width of the pond. The problem is they put it too close to the highway. Brand new barbed wire fence. You know, so the state, farmer gets a letter from the state, says move your fence. So he says, I didn't put the fence
I
in.
didn't put it in there.
That was hired done, that was part of the project. The fence hasn't been moved yet.
Oh.
It just,
And then the property on the south side has changed hands since this project was done, where the pond and stuff was put in. There's a new house on the west side of the gravel road back there in the woods.
That I don't know.
Oh, nice looking place.
Which
Oh, really?
one? Between,
Go to this, where this pond is, you know where that is?
between Rogers Park and my house?
No,
No, it's on 218.
it's on 218. Go west of the Garrison Corner where you get in the big hills, and there's a new pond on the
Oh,
south
that
side of the
one,
road.
yeah,
Because Coulter was one, I'm like, wait, I'm just trying to think of the names that
yeah.
we did projects for.
Ladorns,
Past Mitch Medoran's
Yeah.
house.
Is that Coulter's, I think?
No.
Dave Coulter, no? Because that was one of them
He's
that
on
we
the
did something
black,
for.
he's on the Garrison Blacktop.
Well, and then the one out here by the school, didn't they have issues with that one at first, with the city? The one, if you're going
Oh,
on
where they
curve?
straightened the creek.
no,
they were
he
supposed
just,
Behind
yeah, he just more or less took prime farm ground out and made a,
Reservoir there, but sometimes it's full and sometimes it's not.
to- I
yeah.
believe this is where you would turn and go to Jim and Deb Fleming's.
Yeah, there's.
Fort- 16th Avenue, maybe?
Okay.
I'd have to look at the list of the people that we did
15th
them
is
for.
the high.
I mean, I even had to like keep copies of every check, like our outgoing, like for for those grants, for the audits, it's a lot. And so I have to retain all that for 10 years too. So it's black stuff in our basement.
You have to retain it for 10 years, but the grant was only for 1 year, and so now here,
Well, it was a 5-year program originally, but yeah, it's
Right.
just the way we have to keep all that
That was on,
documentation.
the big tall guy that was in the, I don't remember his name.
But remember us boxing all that stuff up for East, like I kept my portion, but like we had to give up some of that stuff.
I helped carry it out of there.
Yeah, we should have just brought it to my
We
basement.
put it to her van. Well, they had umpteen books and all that stuff.
Uh-huh. Because originally, when those projects were done, if you recall, they would come in a nice little binder.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found those up until that point when we moved to EasyCog.
Okay.
So,
So anyway, I don't know how we're gonna remedy this you know, we signed off on the project, I understand what's going on, but I get where he's coming from, who's gonna, you know,
Right.
get their checkbook out and make it better.
Does he, I guess I don't know who owns on the south side of the highway now. Because I saw they've been,
South side he owns,
he owns the
yeah,
south side.
but the
Who
north
owns
side,
north side?
somebody else owns that because he just put a pond in there.
Because I see they've been in there, cleaning out the little timber spot,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning it up. And then
I can
to
see
the
this one
west
up in
is where
court.
the new house is at.
Okay, see, I never went that far then.
Oh, it's, appears to be quite a place.
with the contractor, I would think. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So I don't know. So,
Well, we didn't have anything to do with the planning of it, we didn't have anything to do with the engineering of it. We
No.
just did
We did the book work.
we did the book work.
I
So-
don't even know if the engineer is still working.
I mean, not to pass
No,
the
he's
buck,
not.
but I would say that the county's
the
WHA.
guy that was in charge of the
Fairly
project
decent
is not
position as
with
far
them
as-
anymore either.
Because he was
litigation.
gone.
Isn't this great?
I would guess.
Yeah, You're right, he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
That was in the middle of
Holy
it.
cow.
And basically, we've got pond that's no good. But we're not currently eroding under Highway 218.
No,
We're just, the pond's just draining faster than it can.
that's right,
That's it.
right.
Well, if they noticed it last week late,
Last Thursday.
and it was down 3 foot already,
Mm-hmm.
It's
oh
going
boy,
up that fast.
it's probably lost another 3 or 4 foot.
I don't know.
Don't know. Oh boy.
Can't
'Cause
tell because of the ice.
Yeah.
You can't go on the ice.
Why not?
I wouldn't go on ice if there's that much room underneath it. You go ahead, I'll watch.
Ice is thick. The only thing I wish I brought my laser along, and I could have figured out the depth where the cement was compared to where the water's coming out, and then I could have figured out where the water is actually gonna level out where it's leaking.
Yeah, at some point in time, it's gotta reach that
Yeah,
point
and I'm hoping that there still be enough water
to maintain.
in there to maintain the fish and all that.
So that might be the only way to fix it is after it drains out so much, get in there and put some sort of a
Yeah.
patch over it.
Yeah. And then again, like I said, there ain't that much room to work on this thing. It's maybe this wide, and then it's a half moon.
Right.
So the depths on it, I said, a fat guy like me ain't gonna get down.
Well, I mean, when they work on, when they're building bridges though, I mean, they cordon off the area and pour the pylons and
Yeah.
then, you know, then when everything's done, they let the water back in, but I don't know the cost of that.
And
This would be,
Of all times to have it happen in the cold now.
yeah. Well, they're gonna be able to do anything until it warms up.
That's right.
So that pond's gonna be, well, like you said, hopefully it'll maintain enough water that we can,
Oh, it will start to look nice.
Yes. Yes, it was. But I just wanted to bring you guys up to this,
Thank you.
what I took place, and if you wanna run out after this.
Yeah.
you know, After the meeting for.
yeah, if we got, if you
miles
got
out
a
of
couple
town.
minutes,
Yeah,
yeah, I'd like to go out and see it so I can have a visual.
take a look at it real
Yeah.
quick and then go on, and like I said, seeing it with your eyes is worth,
Right.
you'd understand it right away.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Yeah, that works for me.
Derek, you got anything for us? All quiet? Cool.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Very good thing.
Tomorrow's your first meeting with,
Yeah, we have a scheduled negotiation session, so.
good. All right. Well, if that's it, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
second.
Jumped on that like a chicken on a June bug.
Call for a vote, call for a vote.
Tip and I.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
All right, you guys